Okay, in this video, we're heading over to the South region. Gonna break down the teams coming out of that side of the bracket. First up, we got Baylor versus Nova. Baylor's laying 7 with a total of 142. A lot of interesting matchups in this one, and I gotta say I was wrong about Nova. I had them pegged for an early exit, and I definitely gave Winthrop too much credit like a dummy. I bought into all the upset talk, and looking back on it, it was stupid. You got an elite program like Nova, who's won national titles recently, playing against a Big South team, and that's just not the 12-5 upset you want to take, and I fell into that trap. But Nova caught a big break in their next game, drawing North Texas, who they just ended up steamrolling, and they've kind of had one of the easier roads to the Sweet 16, at least for a non-1 seed, but that ends now. I mean, it just got real for them with Baylor waiting on deck here. And if you watch the Sweet 16 intro video, I talked about Baylor and how, this will be their second game at the Hinkle Fieldhouse location. And Nova's yet to play a game at that location. I should note that these teams have had a week to prepare and they've been on location. So, this likely means a little less than it would have in the first two rounds, but both teams' success, is heavily correlated to 3-point shooting, more so than other teams. So this is just another edge that we can add to the list for Baylor here, that they got some, games under their belt at this location. Baylor leads the country in shooting from deep, hitting over 41% from three, which is just insane. Nova, they rank 238th in the country defending the three. They're allowing opponents to shoot 35% from downtown, and Nova's going to have to get out and defend the Baylor shooters if they want to have any chance. Nova's first two games, they allowed both Winthrop and North Texas to shoot over 30% from three. If Baylor shoots anything over 30% from three this game, it's good night for Nova. The turnover battle, that column's going to be interesting. Baylor's so good at forcing turnovers and getting out in transition, kind of turning defense into offense. They rank 6th in the country, forcing roughly 18 turnovers per game. But Villanova, they take care of the ball real well, and they're actually ranked number 1 in turnover percentage. So, but another team who takes care of the ball real well and doesn't turn it over is Wisconsin, and Baylor managed to force them into 14 turnovers. So this is where Nova's really going to miss this kid Gillespie. The offense runs through that kid, and they've got this far without him, but it's going to put a ton of pressure on this kid Justin Moore. He's not really a true point guard like the way Gillespie was, but they've also been having this kid at the bottom here, Chris Arcidiacono or something. He came in a little bit and played a little point guard, and he actually looked pretty good. So I'm interested to see if they go to him a little bit more in this game. But they're going to be under some serious pressure with the Baylor guards here, especially Mitchell. He's like all-conference defense and Naismith finalist and all that. What I'm really interested to see, though, is how Nova, head coach Jay Wright, kind of game plans offensively. Nova's a team that gets a lot of their scoring from 3-point range. 40% of their points come from, deep. And if Baylor has any weakness at all, it's, their front court. And, Jay Wright certainly knows better than me, but I'm interested to see if they kind of try to go down low. And they have two really good forwards there. The kid Earl, James Robinson Earl, he's a stud down there. And then Samuels, they got two really good ones. Earl's averaging 20 points in the tournament. And I think Baylor's going to have trouble defending him a little bit. Baylor goes with the 3-guard set. They don't come off that set and for any real length of time anyway. And if they want to play this kid Mayer, who I really like, this kid Matthew Mayer, he had a good game their last game. That's going to put them at a disadvantage. Mayer's 6'9", but he's skinny. He's more of a shooting guard type, but more than likely, Baylor's going to have to go with the kid Chachi or Flotamba, defend this kid Earl. But, then they have to worry about Samuels, and, that's a senior forward there. Kid's super efficient. He's had some really big games, plays inside and out, And I think he's actually the X factor. This kid Samuels here. Um, because if Earl draws attention down low, Baylor's not a big team. They don't have a ton of options to defend any bigs, and if they start going to Float Thamba and this kid Chachi, they're kind of, it messes up their rhythm. They like to go to this 3-4 guard set, and I think that kind of gets them out of rhythm. And all everything guard Baylor. Jared Butler. This kid has been quiet by his standards, and it's only a matter of time before he goes off. And no better opponent than Nova, who struggles defending the perimeter. I think this is a good game, competitive, but Baylor by double digits is the way I see this one playing out for sure. The guards for Baylor are just going to be too much for them. Um, let's head over to see the Arkansas Oral Roberts game. This is a game that I'm not really too excited about. I mean, Oral Roberts definitely isn't sneaking up on anyone anymore, and definitely not Arkansas. They've actually played each other early this season, and Arkansas was a 19.5 point favorite in that game, and Oral Roberts, jumped out to a 40-30 lead at halftime. But then Arkansas just took the lead back quickly in the second half and kind of never looked back. So I'm sure Arkansas is not going to get caught sleeping here by Oral Roberts, and I don't see Oral Roberts making any big adjustments because, what they do well, and they're not the type of team to make major adjustments game to game. And with Arkansas being familiar with them and add in the talent gap and athletic edge, I mean, there's no upsets happening here. The round of 16 is where the Cinderellas go to die usually. I don't see Oral Roberts advancing and, Arkansas handling them pretty easily. Um, Arkansas's had two hard fought games. Colgate gave them all they could handle in round one. Final score wasn't really indicative of how the game played out either. Refs called a lot of fouls on Colgate, and in the end, the athletes on Arkansas were just too much for them. But in Arkansas's second game, they played a tough Texas Tech team who's always hangs around and just doesn't go away. And I was surprised Texas Tech didn't, chose to run with them a little bit and not slow it down. But then again, I'm sure Chris Bird had his reasons. But take a look at the players. Oral Roberts. They got probably the best player in the tournament. This kid Max Abrams. I mean, um, he's the real deal. Oral Roberts loves to, bomb it away from deep. They lead the country in threes made per game. Yeah, their point guard, it starts with him, but no way they should have got by Florida. All Florida had to do was press this kid Abrams, and force him to give up the ball. But Florida's too athletic to get beat by this team, but it just came down to effort. Florida looked too tired, and even if they tried to press him, I think even if they wanted to try to press him, I don't think they could have. And I don't know what Florida's head coach Mike White was doing neither. He was running this 1-3-1 half court zone in crunch time against Oral Roberts. A team that can shoot, and the shooters just spaced out to the corners and got open looks, and it was a couple daggers, and that was it. But nothing really special in this matchup here. I think Arkansas rolls, but then gets bounced by Baylor. That's all I got for the South region. Good luck, and as always, may all the refs' calls and all the loose balls go your way.